Let me put that up. Okay. Here we go. So yeah, this is too casual, and this really is rude. If you need me, change the time. So this is how they suggest fixing this. All right, so first change hey to dear. And instead of saying, I can't come to the meeting, you say, I'm afraid I can't attend the meeting next Monday morning. And also notice and say, instead of saying, can't come to the meeting, you can say can't attend the meeting. So attend is a little bit better vocabulary. All right, then instead of going, if you really need me, change the time to 2:30. Here you make it a question. Would it be possible to change the time to 2:30? And then we added a better closing with regards, because you'll notice here he didn't say anything. Okay, so that's the first one. Here's the next one. Here's one more practice. Okay, so please read this. See if you can find any of the problems in here. If it's rude, too professional, too casual, have a look. Okay, there's a lot of things in here that make this a very bad letter to a customer. So I'm sorry if I didn't point that out to you. This is a reply letter to a customer. So can you find the problems? I'll give you another moment. Okay, so here they are. Here it says, which you damaged. So yeah, maybe the customer did damage the product, but you don't want to be like, you damaged this, this is your fault. That's a little rude. All right, then here it says clearly states. This sounds a bit rude because when you say this to someone, well, this clearly states blah, 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 blah. You're kind of saying that they're dumb and that they don't see this, that you should have read this properly and you didn't read it properly. So that's why that's a bit rude. And then right here is a bit rude. You can't expect us. So now you're telling the customer that the customer should not think that the company is going to help fix the problem. All right. And then it says damage resulting from your own misuse. So again, you're reminding the customer that the customer made a mistake. Now, yes, the customer did make a mistake, but to keep telling the customer that they made a mistake, that's not very polite. And because they're your customer and because your company is trying to make money, that might not be the best way to speak to them. Also, this is a bit rude. This is rude. This is like shouting at your customer in a letter and telling them that they're unreasonable. And then here again, that's a bit much for a customer. Now, students, I do want to apologize to you. I know in my emails, sometimes I'll put not or don't do this in big letters, but it's not because I'm trying to shout at you or be rude to you, but I have a feeling some students don't read everything in the email. So I feel like if I put it in big letters, it's easier for you to see. So I usually do that just for important information. So, but if you thought I was being rude, I do say I'm sorry. And then right here, we have this as well. That's the best we can do. You're kind of saying like, well, that's all we're going to do for you. So that is a bit rude. Okay, so these are the problems. So if these are the problems, I'll give you a minute or two. Can you think about how you could write this differently so it would sound nicer? Okay, this is the suggested answer. Well, first let's talk about some of the comments. All right, one, it's too informal, not professional. I would just say it's rude, actually. And here's an example that's unreasonable. All right, then it's impolite and argumentative. And here's what argumentative means. All right, then, and an example of that is you can't expect us to. They're also quite abrupt. And here's the word abrupt in Chinese for you. And an example of that is that's the best we can do. All right, so let's see. How can we fix this? Here we go. This is the suggestion. Now, if you've come up with other things, that's fine. All right, so instead, you're going to want to thank them for your email. Okay, then you want to say you're sorry that the pendant has been damaged while it was being cleaned. Then, now remember, the company really can't do anything because the customer is the one who damaged the product. So you can say, unfortunately, we are not able to replace any products that are damaged due to mistreatment. Because remember, the customer messed up, damaged the product while cleaning it, okay? According to the user's manual, the pendant must not be cleaned with corrosive liquid. I hope you can understand our position. Now, remember, he does say they can try to repair it right here. So here's how they say it instead. Of course, we would be very happy to assess the damage. Assess means kind of like analyze the damage, see how much damage there is, how to fix it. And attempt means try, and attempt to repair your pendant. Attached, please find the details of our repair services and information about the cost involved. So they've included details in the cost about repairing it. Please let us know if we can be of further assistance. So now you're saying if you need more help, please let us know. So that's very polite. And then they wrote regards, because this person did not write regards. This person wrote thanks. Which actually, you might think this sounds polite because in English, you know, we say thank you or thanks. But when you sign, it's really just not appropriate. It's a bit too casual. It's not very customer service-like. So it's best to write something like regards. Okay. So all of Unit 2 is about style and tone. So let's review really quickly here. Let me go back to my other document. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to go, that's really all for Unit 2. Again, I've never had students having any problems with style and tone for the assignment, okay? So just remember, you want to have this kind of, I'm going to summarize this. You want to have the point of view of the customer. Think about the point of view of the customer while you're writing, so that way it'll help you be polite, positive, and give good customer service. All right. You don't want to blame the customer for anything. Now, students, I have to say this. In the assignment, there aren't going to be any problems that you need to solve. The customer isn't going to be complaining about anything or asking you to fix a damaged product. So a lot of the examples in Unit 2 that they gave you don't really apply to the assignment. They're just trying to show you ways of being more polite. Okay, so the other thing you want to remember, try to avoid sounding negative. And then remember, the important thing is semi-formal writing style. That's probably one of the bigger things you need to remember. And there is one other thing I do want to remind you of before we move on, and that is this one here. Remember, students, don't write hope you find this information helpful. You'll want to write I hope you find this information helpful. You're going to put this in the closing paragraph, and you are my Thursday class, so I know that we had 2 classes before the break, so I know we talked about the closing paragraph. So when you write the closing paragraph, don't do this. You want to add the word I, okay? All right, so that's it for Unit 2. If you have any questions, please let me know. Okay, but it doesn't look like it. All right, so since we have all this time left over, let's go to, we'll go backwards to Unit 3. So let me get my Unit 3 document open for you. Okay, now, I want to say about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I sent you a document for Unit 3. Okay, but it was without answers. So the document you were sent had no answers. Okay, now a lot of this stuff we did in class before, the last time I saw you, but because it's been so long, we're going to go through a very quick review. Okay, so let's see. I think on the very first day of class, I gave you a letter from a teacher who wanted to take her students to Paris, and we had to highlight or underline all the questions so that we could have practice learning how to find the important information, the questions, and request from your customer. So this is a very similar exercise on page 2 of Unit 3. So all the answers are highlighted in one color to match the questions. So, and I know we did this. So we've got the sender's name, job title, department and company the sender is writing to, the problem they're trying to solve, and then the customer asks one question and 2 requests. All right, so sender's name and role is right here. Okay, so that's their signature, and you'll need to do this for the assignment. You can just use one of these here to help you write the signature, and then you type their name. You'll type your name, and then you'll need to give your job title. Okay. Then the question was, which department and company is the sender writing to? That's in green, so that's up here. Okay. Here's the department, high-tech company. So we did this in class. What's the problem the seeker's trying to solve? That was right here. They're trying to install fully operational branches in mid-March, which is equal to the word this. So here's the question. Okay, they want to get all that done. And then the 2 requests. The customer asked for a catalog and provide the name of a contact person. Okay, so we did that in class. Then this page is really important. Okay, so this is page 4 of Unit 3 document that you have. Now this is equal to page 30 in the book. Okay, so if you have the book at home with you, great, it's page 30. If not, you can look at this. You don't need the book, students. That's why the school sent the teachers these Unit 3, Unit 4, Unit 2 documents so that you can have them if you don't have a book, okay? So don't worry about going to school. You don't need to do that. You've got it right here. Okay, but this page is very important. So again, page 30 in the book or page 4 in Unit 3, okay? This is what your assignment is going to need to look like. Okay, so we'll go over this again because I know we did this in class, but it'll be a review. All right, so at the top we have the letterhead, which I think this looks a bit odd to me. That looks better. Okay, so we've got the letterhead. Then we've got the date that the person wrote it. Then we've got the inside address. This is the person receiving the letter. And up here, the letterhead, this is the person sending the letter, okay? Then we have the salutation. Notice what the salutation is. It says, Dear Mr. Lung. So when you write your assignment, you're not gonna write their first name. You're gonna write Mr. or Mrs. and then their family name. So let's say you were gonna write me a letter, you'd write Dear Miss Camaro. You would not write Dear Miss Michelle Camaro. You wouldn't put the Michelle, you would just put my last name. Okay, so please remember that for the assignment. Then you need the subject line. The subject line is what the, it's basically like the topic of the whole letter. So everything that they ask about has to do with this topic, surveillance and security system. Now, I think we talked about this in class, but you don't, it's very easy to write the subject line. And this is why. If you go back to your customer's letter, you see right here, they have surveillance and security system. So you just copy that in the assignment, okay? That's your subject line too. You can use it. The only thing you have to do, you just have to add the little RE with the dots, and now your subject line is perfect, you're fine, okay? So let the customer letter help you. Copy it from the customer letter, and then just put the little RE ... in front of it, you're good to go. All right, then next is the opening paragraph. There should be 4 pieces of information in the opening paragraph, and we'll talk about that in a minute. All right, so 4 things you need to include in the opening paragraph. Then you have the body. This is the middle stuff. We have the opening and then the closing, and then in between the opening and the closing is the body. For the assignment, students, you should have about 3, 4, or 5 paragraphs in the body. 1 paragraph is not enough. So they're just trying to show you what the body is, but for your assignment, you will need to have 3, 4, or 5 paragraphs in the body. And then you need to have the closing paragraph right here. And in the closing paragraph, you should include 3 things, 3 sentences. We'll review that too. Then when you finish, you need to write yours sincerely, okay? That's better. Now your customer will write yours faithfully, but when you're writing your answer for the assignment and you're replying to your customer, it's best that you write yours sincerely. This is the better one, okay? So please do that. Then you need to write your signature, type your name, and then your job title, okay? So again, this page is really important, and this is page 4 of Unit 3 document, okay? All right. Next, then we also did this in class in the book, but this is page 5 of Unit 3, all right? This is the one where it's really focusing on being polite and positive and giving good customer service, right? So these are all phrases that show being polite, positive, and giving good customer service. So thank you very much for your continued interest. Now, students, be very careful about this. Your customer is new in the assignment. So if the customer is new, you cannot say continued interest. If the customer was your customer for a long time, then yes, you could say continued interest. The customer is not a customer of yours for many years. They're new. So do not use the word continued, okay? Then if you want to say it would be our pleasure to, that's great. If you do use this phrase, it would be our pleasure to, you do need to have a verb after to. This is the infinitive, to plus verb. So you'll notice there's no ing, no ed, no s on the verb. You might have to change the verb. I don't think you'll be able to use the word ensure. Maybe you could, I don't know, but you'll need a verb here, okay? Enclosed for your reference. Enclosed means included. I'll type it here. You're basically saying I included something in my email or I included something in my letter. So for this one, they wrote a catalog detailing specifications and features is enclosed for your reference. So if you are going to add something to your letter, if you're going to give something else to your customer, yes, you can use this phrase. Remember, catalog is like when you go to a restaurant and you look at the menu, there's pictures of the food and there's the price. Catalog's like the same thing. It's like a magazine with pictures of the products and the price. Okay? We'll be happy to follow up is good. We'll be happy to follow up is when you have 2 people helping the same customer. Okay? So first, Mei Lee, she's writing the letter, so she's helping the customer first. But then Susan Chan is going to continue helping the customer. So since she is the person continuing to help the customer, she's the second person to help the customer, you can say that person would be happy to follow up and to help them, okay? You might be able to use it in the assignment. You'll have to look at the assignment and see if you can use it or not. Then definitely you want to tell the customer that if they need more help to contact you, so that's a good phrase. And then I trust that you will find our security systems both reliable and competitively priced. We look forward to assisting you. All right. You can use, I trust that you will find our. That part you can use. But in the assignment, you're not talking about security systems, so you're going to have to change the word here if you choose to do that, if you choose to use this phrase. Also, we look forward to assisting you. You could say that. We look forward to assisting you. You could say, we look forward to assisting you with your needs, full stop. Or you could say, we look forward to assisting you with your needs in the near future, full stop. Again, I'm not using the word security because the assignment, you're not talking about security systems, you're talking about something else. You could do this, you could write this whole sentence and use all of this. However, you will need to change this word and use something more appropriate for the assignment. Okay, so again, this is stuff for being polite, positive, and giving good customer service that we did in class. Then we did talk about this. It says don't use colloquial expressions. These are things not to do in the assignment. So remember, students, my example I like to give everybody is got versus received. Got's okay, like I got your email, but if you said I received your email, that sounds a little better. So definitely try to have a little bit better, more professional vocabulary. Also, you don't want to use short form words like photo. You don't want to write that. You're going to need to write photograph. Now, I don't know if you're going to need to write the word photograph in the assignment, but this is an example. Or the word demo. You don't want to write demo. You're going to write the full word demonstration. Another example of that would be like, let's say you had to, maybe the delivery will be made in December. Okay. You would not write DEC. This would not be good. You would need to write the whole name of the month, okay? So make sure you don't use short form words, okay? So another way of writing short form, don't do this. So you're not gonna write won't, you should write will not, okay? Now students, I did upload videos to Moodle. I made videos for everything that I'm talking about for Unit 3 and Unit 4. So if you need more review or more reminders, there's definitely videos on Moodle to look at. Each video is probably about 8 to 12 minutes long, so just so you know. All right, then on page 6 of Unit 3, we talked about the opening paragraph, and these are examples. So I'm actually going to scroll down a bit here and show you, where is it? Here we go. No, where is it? Here it is. All right, this is not on the document I sent you. This is just a print screen from a PowerPoint. And I just added it here so I don't have to keep switching documents around. All right, so there's 4 things you need to include in the opening paragraph. You need to say thank you. You need to say the date of the sender's letter. You need to summarize the topic of the sender's letter so you can use the sender's subject line to help you. And then you want to say, I would be glad to provide the information requested, full stop. So you can just copy the sentence, step 4, okay? So thank you, date of sender's letter, summarize sender's letter, summarize the topic, use the subject line to help you, and then this 4th sentence. All right, so we can go back up here, wherever we were, somewhere. Yes, page 6. All right, so remember, step 1 was to say thank you. So here's an example of step 1. That's why I put the 1 right here. All right, then you want to include the date of the sender's letter, the date they wrote their letter. So here's an example of that. That's step 2. That's why I put it 2. And then I'm gonna skip step 3 really quick. I'm gonna move to step 4. So I would be glad to provide the information requested. That's step 4. Now let's go back to 3. Remember, step 3, you need to summarize the topic of your customer's letter. So you can copy this part. You can copy all of this. You can copy up to our. Okay, inquiring about our. Then after the word our, O-U-R, now you're going to have to put the topic of the customer's letter. Where do you find that, or how do you do that? This is my advice. So remember I said use the subject line. I'm going to put subject line here. Okay, SUBJ is subject line. So you would go to your customer's subject line and then use it. So let's see. Let's go back to this surveillance security system one. Okay, remember we've got surveillance and security system. That's your customer's subject line. So you would take these words and you would put it, let's see, come on. You would put it right here after our. Oops. All right, so our and then surveillance system, okay? So that's how you would do that. So there's that. That's how you do paragraph 4, opening paragraph with 4 pieces of information. We talked about this in class, okay? Again, if you want to tell them that they enclosed something, like if you want to tell the customer that I've attached a catalog, I've attached a brochure, I've enclosed a catalog or whatever, you can put that in the opening paragraph. You could also possibly put it in the closing paragraph or in a paragraph with related information. For example, if you wrote a paragraph and it included information about the warranty, after that sentence, when you gave information about the warranty, you could then tell the customer that you have enclosed a copy of the warranty. So you could say something like, please find enclosed a copy of our warranty for your reference. So you don't have to put it in your opening paragraph. And then right here is basically what your opening paragraph is going to look like. Thank you for your letter dated. Then the red stuff you're going to have to replace. Find the date of the customer's letter and put it right there. Then you're going to say inquiring about our. Then you need to use the topic, which is the subject line from the customer's letter. Then you say full stop. Then you just write, I would be glad to provide the information requested. And your opening paragraph is done, finished. Okay. All right, next. That was opening, and this is on page 6 of Unit 3. Now we're going to talk about closing, which we did. We talked about this in class. That's page 7. So this is closing paragraphs. So just remember, for the opening paragraph, there are 4 things. Closing paragraph, there are 3 things. In the closing paragraph, you don't even have to think. You just put these sentences in there. So you write these 3 sentences, that's your closing paragraph, you're finished. Notice, remember, you have to say the word I, don't start with hope. So it should be I hope. I hope the information provided will be helpful. I hope the information provided will be useful. If you have any further questions, please feel free to contact me. Please feel free to contact us. I look forward to hearing from you soon. We look forward to hearing from you soon. Okay, so that's how you write your closing paragraph. Again, this is not on the document I sent you. This is just a capture screen from my PowerPoint that I put up here, so it would make it easier for me to show you. Okay, so we can go back up here on page 7, and here are examples. So they gave you 3 examples of closing paragraphs, and they want you to find examples of these 3 things that you can use. So I hope that the information enclosed will prove useful to you. That's an example of step 1. If you have any further questions, please feel free to contact me on blah, blah, blah. That's an example of step 2. Another example of step 2 is you could start your sentence with, please feel free to contact us if you have any further queries. Both are okay. This one you provide the phone number. This one you do not. Both are fine. And then an example of step 3, I look forward to hearing from you soon. Okay. And that's closing paragraph. Okay. Again, I've put videos up on Moodle for you to watch if you need any help with any of these. Okay, then there's this vocabulary stuff. I did make a video about this. Really, students, all this vocabulary things here and these things with prepositions, this really is more for getting you ready for the assessment, 60% of your grade. I'm not going to go over this right now. When it's time to get ready for the assessment, I'll remind you about this stuff. All right, so next, again, this is also for the assessment, 60% of your grade. And then I think this is where we left off in class. I think this is where we stopped. I think I told you to do this practice and we stopped here. So on page 11 of Unit 3 document, I'm not sure what it is in the book, but it's Unit 3, page 11 here. Here is a copy of the customer's letter asking questions. And then on the next page, page 12, you're supposed to fill in the missing information. All right, so let's go through that. Okay, so 1, I've highlighted all of the customer's questions and requests for information. So they want more information about applications of your technologies. When it's application, it's not like a piece of paper for when you put your information to apply for something. This means how to use. So applications here means how to use your technologies. All right, they want to know if they can arrange a meeting. They want to know how long it will take to prepare a quotation for the comments, for our comments, and then how long your quotations are valid for. Quotation is when you want somebody to do work for you and you want to know how much it will cost. So they will give you a quotation. That doesn't mean the number will change. Maybe they give you a quotation of $1,000, and then when they actually do the work, it will be $1,200. But at least you have an idea. You kind of know how much something will cost. That's a quotation. So and then they also want to know if they can get discounts and what their payment terms are. So these are all the questions. Request for information. Okay, so then you were supposed to respond. They wanted you to practice writing an opening and closing paragraph and then respond to the questions and requests. So let's start with the opening and closing paragraph. Remember, opening paragraph has 4 pieces of information. So thank you for your letter. That's 1. With the date, that's 2. Inquiring about our. Now remember, after the word our, you're going to have to figure out what you need to put because you need to summarize the topic. Okay, so remember I wrote here for part 3 or step 3, you need to summarize the topic of the sender's letter. And how do you do that? Use the sender's subject line to help you. Okay, so we go back here. Here's the customer subject line, low carbon technology services. So you're just going to copy those words after the word our. Okay, so inquiring about our low carbon technology services, full stop. Now, when I taught you to write opening paragraph, I said that you should just say, I would be glad to provide the information requested. So if you did put that right here, that's totally fine. That would be good. The people who wrote this, they decided to write, regarding applications of our technologies, please find enclosed some case studies for your reference. That's fine. I think I would have moved this. I think I would have put this in a different paragraph. And instead, I would have written this sentence instead, that I would be glad to provide the information requested. I would have put that here. I would put that here, and I would move this information maybe here or here. Okay, that's what I would have done, but both are fine. Okay, so then, remember, that's the 4 pieces of information for your opening. Remember, your closing has three sentences. So here's the first one. Hope the information above answers your queries. Yep, that's 1. Please feel free to contact us again if you have need further information. That's step 2. And I look forward to hearing from you soon. Step 3, finished. All right, now we have to answer the customer's questions. So remember, they asked about a meeting. So they wrote, arrange a meeting with you early next week. Okay, the information is here, and then you need to put it into a sentence. What I see a lot of students do is they'll add the word in with you in early next week. That's incorrect. You just need early next week. Okay. Also, then they remember they asked about quotations, and it's for 90 days. So here's the sentence. All quotations are valid for 90 days. Students, in the past, they've asked me when we do this exercise in class, they know that this is the answer. They know they need to put this in a sentence, but they don't know how to write it. So I tell them this doesn't always help. This doesn't work 100% of the time, but sometimes you can look at the customer letter and see how they wrote it to help you. So notice that the answer is all quotations are valid for 90 days. So let's look at the customer letter and look how they wrote it. They want to know how long your quotations are valid for. So notice how they've written it. Quotations are valid for. So, and the answer, quotations are valid for 90 days. So this won't always work, like I said, but sometimes if you're not sure how to write something or which words to use, look at the customer letter and see if there's anything you can use to help you. Okay, then they asked about a discount. So here's the information over here. 5% off for new customers. So we can offer you a 5% discount as a new customer. All right, so I'm not sure if we talked about this in class, but we need to talk about discount. Okay, so, and I do think discounts comes up in the assignment, so we need to be careful of this. So I'm going to look at here. Now, again, this right here is not in the document I sent you. This is from a PowerPoint of mine, and I just added it here. So let's talk about 5% off versus 5% discount. Okay, if you're going to use the word off, you need is with it. So is number off. If you want to use the word discount, you need the word a. So a, number, and then discount. Okay, so here's some examples. Here's one with off. The store is having a big sale. Everything is 20% off. Okay, so we got is, number, off. If we're going to use discount, we are pleased to inform you that you can enjoy a 30% discount as you are our new customer. So we've got a, number, and discount. Notice off and discount are not used together. You don't say everything is 20% off discount. You don't say a 30% discount off. No, so don't use them together, okay? Be careful of that. So it's going to be is 5% off, or sorry, not 5%, but is number off or a number discount. Okay, so be careful. Don't use them together. And then the things down here are what I already talked to you about. So like I was saying, students don't know how to talk about quotations are valid for. So I said to look at the customer's email or letter. They might be able to help you. And then remember, early next week is good. You don't need the word in. Okay. So I'll leave this up here because so if you want to take any notes, because if you don't have your book, you might not be able to write the answers in there. So if you want to take notes, any kind of notes really quick. Okay. And then if you want to take any notes with this, you want to write anything down? Okay, so that was Unit 3. That was our review and then some help there. Again, all of this is on the I made videos for all of this, and they're uploaded to Moodle. Okay, it's saying here that there's a question, but I'm not seeing anything. All right. Okay. Okay, well, we're moving on. So now we're going to go to Unit 4. And again, you have this document. Wait 1 second, guys. Sorry. Okay, you have this Unit 4 document in your email. I sent it to you. What can I say about it? Again, I've made videos. They're uploaded on Moodle. So, but let's continue. All right, so one of the main things that's very important about Unit 4 is you're going to learn words to introduce the main idea or introduce a new topic or start a new paragraph. That's very important. You're also going to learn words you can use to give supporting or extra details or extra information. Right, that's probably the biggest thing in Unit 4. All right, so we're going to go here. This is page 2, and there's an exercise to help you with these important words, but I'm just going to get to the list really quick. So if you go to page 3 on Unit 4, you will see this that I sent you. I don't think it includes an unhappy face, but it does include everything else. It says here, important, you are expected to use the phrases in bold. So these words here, okay, all these here. When do you use them? You use them to introduce the main idea of each paragraph. You can use them to introduce a new topic or to start a new paragraph. Okay, that's when you use them. All right, so let's look at them. So, and we've got a bit of a pattern. Now, remember, I told you that you use them to introduce a new topic. So you're going to hear me saying this word a lot, okay? So we've got with regard to your question about, or with regard to your query about. And then here's the topic right here. So this is the topic of the sentence. This is the topic of the paragraph. Then comma, then you've got your subject and your verb. That's why this comma is so important. This is not a full stop. Don't put a full stop here. There is no subject or verb before the comma. The subject and verb comes after the comma. So subject, verb. So that's why the comma is important, because there's no subject or verb before the comma. So that's why you cannot put a full stop here. It would be incorrect grammar. All right, but how do we introduce the topic? We can say with regard to your question about our track record, with regard to your query about our track record, or you can say regarding your question about, or regarding your query about our track record. Okay, be careful. This one is with regard to, and this one is regarding. A lot of students, for some reason, I don't know why, but they put to with regarding, but that's incorrect. So, oops, just remember, what happened? If it has ing, if regarding has ing, no to, no to, okay? And if it doesn't have ing, then you can add to, all right? Another way to introduce a new topic, you can say concerning, again, topic, comma, subject, verb, and then more information about the topic. You can say any query about the topic in reply to your query about the topic. And then you have, again, comma, subject, would be is your verb, and then more information about the topic. I don't know what happened here. Students, sorry about that. Let me fix this. All right, then we have as far as. Now this one's a little different. Notice the other ones, the first three, you have the word to introduce, and then you put the topic. Here, the topic is in the middle, and you've got words to introduce here, and you've got words to introduce here, okay? So as far as topic are concerned, rest of introduction word, comma, subject, verb, more information about the topic. Okay, the thing that's tricky about this one is if your topic has an S, then you need R. If your topic does not have an S, then you will need to use is by S, okay? All right, so I did make a PowerPoint about this, so I gotta go switch over to the PowerPoint. So wait 1 second, students, sorry. And it's not actually the PowerPoint. So I've included PowerPoint pictures, I think, in this somewhere. Oh, no, I didn't. Where is it? Okay, I know that I have some PowerPoint slides on a document. So let me go look. Maybe it should be here, though. All right. That's one, but that's all of it. All right, students, give me just a second. I have to go look for it. Okay. I'm not sure what happened. Here we go. I'm not sure if you can see this, so I'm going to have to switch documents again with Microsoft Teams. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, so let me just tell you really quick. So in some of the sample sentences, you saw the word track record. So here's what track record means. It's like the company's history, how well the company is doing, and if it ever did badly. So there you go. And then, so here's what we were talking about. So you're going to use the word or phrase from page 3, like regarding or as far as blah, blah, blah concerned. Then you put the topic, then you put the comma, then more information about the topic. In the blue part where there's more information, you're going to need SVO, subject, verb, and object, okay? So we've got regarding, was one of the ways to introduce the topic. Then the apples is our topic, comma, I bought them at Park and Shop. So I is the subject, bought is the verb, them at Park and Shop. So all of this is more information about the topic apple. And just like I was talking about, when you use this one, you have to be careful if it has S or not. So you notice here, as far as the dog is concerned, dog doesn't have an S. So there's only one dog. So we use is. If there's more than one dog, if there's 2 or 3, as far as the dogs, now because there's S, we need R, as far as the dogs are concerned. Okay, and then you give the rest of the information. So as far as the dog is concerned, comma, we, subject, can't take, verb, it on holiday with us. Okay, as far as the dogs are concerned, comma, we, subject, can't take, verb. Now it has to be them, because we have more than one dog, on holiday with us. Okay, all right, and then a little more on that. Again, remember you use the word to introduce, then you have the topic, comma, and then SVO. Okay, please don't forget the topic. Please don't forget the comma. That's very important. Now on my PowerPoint, this is, I haven't sent this to you. This is a screenshot from my PowerPoint. It says page 43. So if you do have the book at home with you, you can look at page 43, but if not, you can look at page 3 on the documents that were sent to you. Okay, so again, words from page 3 or 43, then you have the topic. And one thing I haven't said yet is the topic cannot have any verbs. Okay, so here we have apples. There's no verbs. The is not a verb. Apples is not a verb. So you don't have the verb here. Then the comma, and then subject, verb, more information. So I is the subject, bought is the verb. Them at Park and Shop is more information about the topic of apples. Okay, but please don't forget the comma. A lot of students will just put the comma here, and that's not correct. All right, let's see what else is on here. All right, now, also on page 43 in the book, or page 3 of the document that was sent to you, giving your customer information that might make them unhappy. Now, remember in Unit 2 that we talked about at the beginning of class, style and tone are very important. You want to think of the point of view of the customer, and you want to be polite. So if you're going to tell them information that makes them unhappy, you need to do it in a polite and professional way. So that is also on page 3 in the box that I showed you here. So let's find it really quick. I think it's this. I think it's this one. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Somewhere here. Right, so we go back to this box, right? And these are words to introduce the new topic, or you can start a new paragraph with these words. Now we're talking about giving information that might make your customer unhappy. That's why I put the unhappy face here. But remember, you want to be polite and professional about it. So you can use, please note that, please understand that, according to our company policy. So for example, maybe your customer asks for free delivery, but company does not give free delivery. So you don't want to write, you don't want to say no, and you don't want to say we don't provide free delivery. That's, I mean, it's true, but that's not very polite. So what you can say is, please note that we don't provide free delivery. Please understand that we don't provide free delivery. According to our company policy, we don't provide free delivery. Or you, to make it even sound better, you could say, we are unable to provide free delivery. So you could start off with, please note that we are unable to provide free delivery. Please understand that we are unable to provide free delivery. According to our company policy, we are unable to provide free delivery. All right, so that would be better than just saying no. Okay, or we don't provide free delivery. The unable sounds better, and then putting it with one of these phrases. So let's talk about them really quick. For this one, you would say, according to our company policy, comma, subject, verb, all that's your verb, and then more information. For these two, you have the word that, so you've got that clauses, and because you have that clauses, the clause, which is a group of words, is going to need a subject and a verb. So you can say, please note that. Express delivery is your subject. Will be is your verb, and then more information. Here we have, please understand that. Here is our subject. Here is our verb. All of this is the verb, and then more information. Okay, so that's how that works. So there might be an instance, there might be somewhere in the assignment you might have to use this. Maybe, maybe not. So you'll have to look at the assignment and check. Okay. Now, one thing about this with regard to, regarding, concerning, in response to, there are other phrases you can use. I'll tell you about them in just a second. As far as are concerned, you are expected to use these phrases. Okay, you need to use these. What has happened in the past with some students, what they do is, this is what they do. Instead of using information that was given to them in class, they'll write, firstly, blah. Firstly is okay, but then they keep doing it like this. Secondly, blah, blah, blah. Thirdly, they will. There are students who have done this. You will lose points if you do this. Your grade will go down. Your mark will go down. This is not what the school wants you to do. You need to use these phrases here. Okay, so make sure that you use these phrases. Like I said, for the first paragraph, when you talk for the body paragraph, if you use firstly, that's okay. But all the rest of them, no. You shouldn't use secondly, thirdly, fourthly. You should use something more like this. Okay, so please remember that. And then also, so those words are for introducing a new topic or starting a new paragraph or introducing the main idea. And then these are if you think the information you give to your customer is going to make them unhappy, you can start here. Use these phrases. Now, there is an exercise we can do, but before we talk about that, all of these phrases here, I actually put in a document. Where is it? Again, this is a print screen of the document, but I did send this document to all of you in an email. So the ones we just talked about, remember introducing a new topic or starting a new paragraph. It's on page 43 in the book, but it's on page 3 of Unit 4, okay? All right, then, and also, just so you know, this is not, like I said, this is a print screen, so this is not on your Unit 4 document, but I sent this document separately on a document by itself. So we've got concerning, regarding, with regard to, as far as is are concerned. I did add some extras. You can use in relation to, or with reference to, or referring to your question about, and there's also as for. So you can use those as well. And then remember, we talked about giving information that will make your customer unhappy. I included that right here. Okay. These are on page 43 in the book, and there is one example on page 56. Again, these are the book, but you can look at page 3 in Unit 4. So again, according to our policy, please note that, please understand that. The one on page 56, again, if you don't have the book, that's fine. You've got it right here. Please be informed that. Okay. If you want to make them happy, if you're going to give them information that's good for them, that they'll like, you can say, I'm pleased to announce that. I'm pleased to tell you that. Again, you've got this document in your email, in your inbox. Okay. And then, like I said, remember, don't start your paragraphs with secondly, thirdly, fourthly. The first one, yes, you can use firstly. That's the body paragraph. Or you can also use to begin with or to start with. And then your last body paragraph, you can say finally, last but not least, or lastly. Okay, so these words here, we're going to talk about these next. They are on page 4 of document 4, or they're page 44 in the book. And these are used to add additional information, give extra information, or support. Well, actually, no, we're not going to do these yet because we have an exercise we need to do. So we'll come back to this in a few minutes. Okay, but we'll get to there. All right, so you know what we need to do, students? We need to do this exercise, and then I need to introduce the practice writing to you. So we're going to do this practice exercise, and then I have to talk to you about another practice exercise. All right, so this exercise is here to help you practice using these words, and one of the exercises gives you practice using these words here. All right, so okay, so here's some questions from your customers. Will there be a discount if we order 20 or more measurement wheels? We would also like to know more about delivery and your preferred payment methods. So these are the 3 things they want information about: discount, delivery, payment. So I put them over here and I've highlighted them so you can see how they're connected. And then here's the information that you need to give them, okay? And remember, they want you to use these phrases right here. All right, so they used regarding. So regarding your question about. Then we have, so where do we get regarding your question about? We got it up here. Regarding your question about. Then we have the topic, which is discounts. Then we have the comma, very important. Then we have subject, verb, and more information, okay, about the topic. Next one is delivery. Okay, and here's the information. So in response to your query about, or in reply to your query about, we got that from up here. You can use one of those. Then you have the topic in green, which is delivery. See, delivery. All right, comma. We is the subject. Guarantee is your verb. Delivery is being used as a noun here, so it's not part of your verb. Here's your verb guarantee. And then here's more information about the topic. Then you're going to provide additional information about being free of charge. So because it's additional information, you can start your sentence with in addition, comma, and then all deliveries, subject, are made, verb, more information. Okay, last one. This one has as far as, then we have the topic, whoops, are concerned, comma, all payments is our subject, can be made is our verb, and then more information. Then there's information about bank transfer, but only international customers can use the bank transfer. So if you're a local customer, you can't do bank transfer. And that might make local customers unhappy. So that's why they start the sentence with, please note that. Because remember, if you're going to make your customers unhappy, or if you think the customers won't like the information you give them, you can use one of these phrases to start your sentence. Okay, so please note that. Our company is the subject, accept is the verb, or accepts is the verb, and then more information. Okay, there's that. Now, students, I just realized I need to I need to talk to you about the practice writing. So we're going to talk about this next, but I need to talk to you about the practice writing, okay? So we're gonna stop on page 3 and go to the practice writing. So I'm sorry, I'm jumping around. Where is the practice writing? Now, this is my page 9, but because I've added things to this document for my PowerPoints, on your document, the practice should be on 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so your practice is on 8, 9, and 10. Now, today we've talked about Unit 2, style and tone. In class, we were able to get a lot done in Unit 3, like opening and closing paragraph, and the reply letter, what it looks like. And then I also made videos about the opening and closing paragraph. So everything in Unit 3 and in this Unit 4 thing here, that's all videos as well. Okay, so you have enough information now to be able to do the practice. So now you're ready to do the practice. So I want to talk about that because I know at 11 o'clock we got to end. So I want to introduce that now. All right, so on your page 8, this is my 9, but your page 8, you're going to have a letter from a customer and they're going to be asking questions. And I have highlighted all the places where they are asking questions. Okay, so if you want to do the practice, then you're going to need to look at this page and then use all this other information to help you write the practice. All right, so here's the letter from your customer. Notice that the subject is access control system. Remember, you can use that to help you. Okay, they need a vandal resistant system. Okay, that's the product they need, and they need it with a smart pen card and pen reader. Okay, and they also need it to record staff attendance. And they're going, so because they need to record staff attendance, the system needs to have the ability to save access data to the company's computer system. Okay, then they also need the system to be able to operate in the event of a power outage. So let's say there's no electricity, the system still needs to be able to work. So then it says, could you advise us for a suitable system? Be careful, students, here, because a lot of students in the past, they think because it says a suitable system, that you only talk about one system. That is not the case. They want you to advise them about a suitable system. So you need to talk about two systems. So in the practice, the two systems are this one, product A, HB228, and product B, WebT336, okay? Those are the two products. You need to talk about both of them in this practice. If you choose to do the practice, you need to talk about both of them. Don't choose the one you think is the best and only talk about that one. That's incorrect. So same with the assignment. You need to talk about both products. Do not choose one and then only talk about that one. No, you need to talk about both of them. And really, the whole purpose of the assignment is to present information, give information about the two products. You do not need to recommend one. You do not need to say which one is better. Just give information about the two products. So please be careful. Even sometimes in the past, students have written the assignment and only given me information about one product, and that's not correct. You must talk about both products in the assignment. All right, so super important. All right, so they want to know about a suitable system, so talk about both, talk about two, and the warranty term. So you need to talk about that. And they want to know how to place an order. So all this yellow stuff are things you need to reply to and information you need to give. Then your boss also gives you an email. Okay, and your boss is telling you information you need to include when you write your customer in this practice paper. So it says, ask her to call us so that we can arrange for a visit to our showroom for a product demonstration. So that's one thing. Tell her that you can visit her, she can visit, I'm sorry, let me start over. We can visit her company to discuss her specific requirements if she needs a customized system. And they can extend Ms. Chan's product, Ms. Chan is the customer, can extend Ms. Chan's product warranty to 3 years if she can confirm her order by the end of November. Tell her about the website that's just been updated, and please encourage her to visit the website, and that there's more information on the website, including a full range of the products. Okay, so you want to include this information and this information in your reply letter to the customer if you choose to do the practice paper. It's on page 8, 9, and 10 for you of document called EGWC Unit 4. Okay, so remember, you don't have the answer, students. I didn't give you that. So next, here's the information. So here's the information about the two products. Okay, so we've got HB228. It's a sturdy titanium lock with satin chrome lever. It's vandal resistant and weatherproof. It's got a smart card and pen reader. Can be upgraded to support fingerprint recognition. It has built-in standby power system and PC-based access control that comes with monitoring software, which is easy to use. Product B is WebT336, which has a tough titanium lock with satin chrome lever. Students, I'll tell you right now, this word tough pretty much means the same thing as sturdy. Sturdy sounds more professional though, so they're pretty much, for this first point here, they're pretty much the same. This one's vandal resistant. This one's vandal resistant and weatherproof. Right, this one has a smart card and pen reader, built-in standby power system. This one has web-based access control, so no computer software is required. So this one has computer software. This one doesn't require it. It has built-in programmable intelligent system. able to auto-generate a series of commands. Okay, so those are the two products. Here's the after sales service, 24-hour service center, 2-year warranty covering labor and parts, lifetime warranty available at very competitive price. Notice this is 2-year warranty, but remember here, your customer can get 3 years if she can confirm her order by end of November. And if she chooses, if she wants to pay for more warranty at a competitive price, she can get lifetime warranty. All right, next, remember sales information. She asked about the sales process. So contact our sales department at this number to discuss precise requirements. We will prepare a quotation after the discussion. There's that word again, quotation, so you might have to look it up. And then a deposit is required. 30% of total payment needs to be paid to confirm your order. So you're going to have to turn all of these into sentences and write a reply letter using all the information you've learned from Unit 3, 2, 3, and 4, if you choose to do the practice, okay? And then on the next page, it kind of gives you an idea of how to write your practice paper. First, you need an opening paragraph. Then they tell you this is optional, which means you don't have to do it. If you want to, fine. You're going to give company information. Personally, I put a line through here. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's important that you include company information. It's really not going to get you any extra points or anything. I would just start talking about what the customer requested. The customer requested knowing about a suitable system, warranty terms, ordering procedure, and closing. Okay, so just to remind you, when you're writing the assignment, you're going to have the first thing you're going to do is writing the opening paragraph. Then you can have 3 to 5 body paragraphs. And then you can have the closing paragraph. So you should have no more than 7 paragraphs because opening is 1, 5 is 5, and closing is the second one. So 5 plus 2 is 7. So I would no more than 5 body paragraphs, students, okay? Be careful of that. And I really don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's important that you give company information. It's not important. All right. Remember, it says to check and use the correct format for a business letter. That is Unit 3, page 3. So just remember 3. What's up? It won't let me type. It's Unit 3, page 3. And it's also page 30 in the book. Okay, Unit 3, page 3, or page 30 in the book. Make sure that you include all information that the customer requested and that your boss told you to include. Use appropriate expressions to introduce main ideas and supporting details. That's 4, and that's page 3 and 4. That's the documents that I've given you. And I'm not sure what the pages are in the book. I think it's like page 43 and 44. Make sure the body paragraphs are well structured and use the correct verb tenses. All right, so if you want to take a note of that really quick, there you go. Okay. So one thing I need to tell you about writing this, and this is optional. You don't have to do the practice writing, but if you want to, good. Let's see, what's today, Thursday? I'll need you to send it to me this weekend sometimes. I would say by Saturday. I need your writing by Saturday so that I can start looking at it because I've got lots of students. Let's talk about this. This is how some students write. And sometimes they might not do the practice, but they'll do the assignment this way. So they'll take all this information and they'll copy it. And this is what they do. Believe me, students, I've had students do this in the past. They just add commas to everything. And they put a full stop. They just add a subject and a verb. And then they're like, okay, I wrote a paragraph. No, this is not correct. for lots of reasons. One, even if the grammar was correct, that's way long sentence with way too much information. So you're going to lose marks there. If you do this for the assignment, please be careful because you should expect a low grade. Okay. Also, the problem with this is you have nouns and you have adjectives, and they require different verbs in front of them. If you have a noun and you're talking about your product, you can use has, you can use maybe provides, offers, includes, features. These are usually the verbs you can use in front of the noun. Now you might have to take the S off. You might have to use have instead, depending on the noun afterwards, okay? Or the subject before it. If you have an adjective in only, then it has to be a be verb. Most often it's going to be is. Now let me add something here. Now, even if you have an adjective in front of a noun, but you still have that noun, then you need to use verbs like has, provides, offers, includes, features when you are talking about a product, okay? Here you have an adjective, but you don't have a noun after it. So your verb is going to usually, I would say 99% of the time, be is. So let's look up here. We've got, it is sturdy titanium lock, right? Lock is a noun, okay? So I'm going to put nouns in yellow. Yes, we have adjectives. We've got sturdy and titanium. Those are adjectives. So we'll put adjectives in green. But notice what I said. If you have an adjective in front of a noun, you still need to use these verbs. But we've got is here, so this is not going to work. You're going to have to use one of these instead, okay? And then look what we have here. Now we have an adjective here, and we have an adjective here. And there is no noun after the adjective, and there's no noun after the adjective here. So they cannot use, well, actually they could. They could use this, verb, but lock cannot use this verb because it's a noun. So we're going to have to change this to has. Why did I have to change it to has? Because of the noun lock. But now we get down here and we have adjectives, and there is no noun after the adjective. There's just adjectives. And if there's just adjectives, you need is. So you would have to add that here. It has sturdy titanium lock with satin chrome lever, is vandal resistant, weatherproof. But again, you are going to have to do extra things. I'm keeping this very basic right now. You would have to change other things as well to make this sentence correct, but I'm not going to do that because you need to do this for writing practice. But my whole point of this is, one, don't just add a bunch of commas and think, okay, we're done writing. And don't just add a bunch of commas, a subject and a verb, and be like, okay, I'm done. Also, when you do have nouns or if you have adjectives in front of the noun, you're going to use verbs like this when describing or talking about your product. And if it's just an adjective, then you need a be verb. Am, is, are, was, were are be verbs, and is probably most likely the verb you will use. Okay, so be careful of that. All right, so there's that. Anything else I can tell you? I think that's it, students. So if you want to take notes of this really quick, of all the things that you need to include, actually I'll make this smaller so we can include everything in here. These are all the things that you need to include. This is the customer asking for information, and this is the boss telling you other information you need to include. So if you want to take notes on it really quick. Okay. All right, let's continue. We've got a little bit of time left. Again, I didn't talk about this practice on a video. Okay, so everything I just talked about on this practice is not on the video, but all the exercises and everything you're supposed to learn in Unit 3 and 4 are on the video. All right, so let's go back. So the main thing for this lesson is learning how to use these words to introduce a new topic or start a new paragraph or to introduce the main idea. And if you're going to give your customer information you think will make them unhappy, you can use these words. We talked about them here. Remember, when you use these kind of words, you're going to use the word to introduce, then you give the topic, then you have the comma. Please don't forget the comma. Then you have your subject, your verb, and then more information about the topic. Okay, so we talked about that today. Then on page 4 of Unit 4 document, we're going to talk about providing supporting information. I don't call it providing supporting information. I call it providing additional information. Or if you're going to give your customer extra information, you would use these words, such as well as, also, in addition, moreover, furthermore, not only, but also. Okay. Now, because they're kind of, it's good that you can see them in sentences. You can see how they work. So you know that as well as goes in the middle of the sentence, also can go in the beginning or the middle. Moreover and furthermore go in the beginning with a comma. Same with in addition, goes at the beginning with a comma. Not only, but also, you can use a few different ways. Okay, so with not only, but also, you can first have the subject, then you have the verb, and then you use not only, but also to give two pieces of information. So here's the first piece of information, and here is the second piece of information. Again, I think a lot of students know how to use this, but I'm just a little review. But because they're kind of all in these sentences here to help you see how they're used, I also just made a list so you could just see them by yourself, see them by themselves. Okay, so as well as, also, in addition, moreover, furthermore, not only, but also. Okay, so one thing about in addition, be careful. Some students write an additional. That is wrong. Okay, so please don't write that. Now you can write an additionally, which is not in the document here. Not in additionally, I'm so sorry. What am I trying to write? Additionally, sorry. Students, I've been teaching this all week long, so I'm starting to repeat everything here. So additionally, yes, okay, that one's correct. In addition is good. Additionally, good. But in additional, or some students might write in additionally, not good. Those words don't exist in English. I can see why you would think maybe you could do that. They don't exist, so please don't do that. All right, so be careful of that. All right, now let's talk about the exercise here that they wanted you to do. Okay, they wanted you to write sentences including the information in the box, but then they also wanted you to use these words as well. Okay, so we've got as well as and in this one. Remember, as well as goes in the middle of the sentence. Here we've got the new model is fast, comfortable, and economical. We've got the word. Now, and is not on your list, but and is also another way to give additional information. All right, then we have it is also very economical. Remember what I said about adjectives. Fast, comfortable, safe are all adjectives. So the verb used is. Economical is also an adjective, so they use the verb is as well here. Okay. Next, for this one, when they wrote this one, they gave you all this information, but not until the second sentence can you use one of the phrases. So you have this one here, then you've got your subject, then you've got, this is your main verb. Right here, you've got like two verbs next to each other. This is your main verb, and then you've got the rest of the information. All right, and then here, like I said, with not only also, here we have all of this is your subject. Here is our verb, then our first piece of information, and then after but also second piece of information. And the thing about this is, notice again, comprehensive is an adjective, affordable is an adjective. That's why they use the verb is. Okay. So I'll leave this up here if you want to take notes. Oh, one thing, students, sorry, I think I told you, but just so you know, this is page 4 of the document, of Unit 4 document. Okay. And then here are the words you can use. And just remember, in addition and additionally are fine. In additional and additionally, those aren't words in English, so be careful not to use those. And I'll keep this up here for a minute if you want to take some notes. Okay. All right. I'm just now noticing somebody had a question, but then I don't know if you're sending a message to me or you're sending a message to someone else. Oh. Someone wrote unfriendly.
No. It's the
for one of the exercises.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what I figured you were talking about. Sorry. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, I figured that's what you meant. Yeah, if I am unfriendly, please let me know though, because I'll try to be nice.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's very clear to get the information.
No problem. Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. A lot of teachers have been having a hard time using Microsoft Teams. So when I was up here looking earlier for responses and didn't quite see what people had written. So I'm sorry that I took so long to respond to your comment, but yes, you are correct. Okay, so let's go back to this. All right. All right, guys, we've got 9 minutes. Now, again, I've made videos for all of this, and I didn't make like each video, like I made this one video, I made this one video. So it's not like you have to watch like 1 hour video. I tried to keep the videos to 8 to 12 minutes. But here, I did make a video. I actually made 3 videos. I made one video about present perfect, one video about passive voice, and then one video about everything else, because there is present perfect and passive voice. So you can have a look. Here are the answers, though. So I'll leave this up here for a second, and you can take notes, and then I'll explain very quickly as much as we can. I think this is the only thing left in Unit 4 we need to do. Okay, so here they want you to use be, a be verb. So was is a be verb, and that's simple past tense. Here, this is past passive voice. It's passive voice because the subject is not doing the action of the verb. I did talk about this in a video. So past passive. Has become, this is present perfect. You often use present perfect when you talk about time and using the word since. All right, when you're talking about how you feel in present time, they want you to use a be verb. So I am pleased. I did talk about this in the video again. This does look like passive voice, but you do use passive voice when you talk about how you feel. So if you say, I am bored, notice bored, B-O-R-E-D, ends with D. I am pleased. I am excited. So yeah, the grammar looks like passive voice, but it's not really being used like passive voice, but you're using it to talk about how you feel. All right, so then we have here, have been recommended. This is present perfect passive voice. This is past tense passive voice. And again, I made a video about passive voice. Both work because have been is talking about something that happened in the past. We just don't know when. Were recommended because it did happen in the past. Okay, again, I talked about this in a video. Has been, so we've got present perfect here. Again, Mr. Lee's been a customer for a long time. So he started being a customer in the past and is still a customer today. That's why it's present perfect. One thing about this, some students add these kind of sentences in the assignment. Nobody recommended your customer to use your company. So please don't say anything about we're happy that we were recommended by blah, blah, blah. No company, no other customer, no other person recommended your company to the customer. So please don't use this kind of sentence in the assignment. Okay, we'll discuss the meeting or the visit has not happened yet. So because it's not happened yet, we need to use future, simple future. This one is present tense. This one is also present tense. Will find is simple future. Present tense here, again, I talk about this in a video. We can use present or future, simple future, depending on the point of view. If it's from the point of view of the person writing it, it would be future. From the point of view of the person reading it, it is present tense. And then we've got present tense here. So I do want to go a little bit up here. At the top, they give you some really quick things about verbs. And the one I really want to focus on is this one. Okay. It says your company's products. So if you're talking about your company's products, services, or operations, you can use simple present. So when do you use present tense, or why should it be present tense? You use present tense when you talk about something that happens every day. Okay. So something that happens every day, or is like a daily habit. Kind of like I brush my teeth every day. I wake up at 9 a.m. every day, something like that. Or it can also, things that don't change, right? So things that don't change, they stay the same. So that means they are the same every day. Okay. So the real key here is things that don't change, and so they stay the same every day. That would be your company's product. Your company product does not change every day. So that is why when you talk about your company products, you're going to use simple present tense. Okay? So for example, delivery is guaranteed within 7 days, and we accept payment within 30 days. That's because every day your company is going to guarantee delivery within 7 days. They're not going to change their policy. They're not going to change their rules. So that's why you use present tense, which goes back to, I hope I left it up here. I'm sorry, I'm switching around, students. Remember when I did this and I talked about all this stuff? Oh, I erased it now. Okay, just remember when I told you you can use has or maybe have. You can use feature. Maybe you'll have S, maybe not. It depends on your subject. Includes, maybe you'll have S, maybe not. What's the other one? Offer, maybe S, maybe not. Provide, has, have, feature, include, offer, provide. I think those are the main ones. These are verbs that you would use with nouns. And notice, and even if there's an adjective in front of the noun, you'll use these verbs, okay? And all of these are present tense, and you would use these to talk about your product. There are others. You might even be able to use the word possess. Possess is a good word too. Okay? Or if you want to make it, you could also write possesses. They're not interchangeable. They're not all 100% the same meaning, but you can use these words, okay? So you're going to use these verbs with a noun. Even if the adjective is in front of the noun, you can use these verbs to talk about your product and what it has. And these are all present tense verbs. If you're going to talk about your product and just include an adjective and no verbs, then you're going to need the verb is in front of the adjective most of the time. And is also present tense. Okay? All right, so there's that. So take some notes if you'd like. So we've got has, have, feature, features, include, includes, offer, offers, provide, provides, possess, possesses. All right. And then if you got just the adjective, you're going to probably use is. All right, now we're moving on. I wanted to talk about one other thing. Remember, this document is sent to you. Okay, so we talked about how to introduce a new topic, start a new paragraph, information if you're going to make your customer unhappy, if they don't like something. If you're going to give additional extra information, that's here, starting the first paragraph, last paragraph. And then the one thing we have not talked about, again, I did make a video on this, and there's a video about this as well on Moodle, but we'll talk about it in 1 minute. They want you to say which one is better, paragraph A or paragraph B. Paragraph B is better because you're only talking about one topic, discounts. This paragraph, paragraph A, you have too many topics in one paragraph, delivery, newsroom, certificate, that's too much. So you want to keep related ideas together. You want to keep similar ideas together. Okay, so that's why paragraph B is better. But I say this, but remember I told you, when you write your assignment, you're going to write the opening paragraph, then you should have 3 to 5 body paragraphs. And you'll have the closing. Because you're going to have 3 to 5 body paragraphs, and the customer did ask you a lot of questions in the assignment, and your boss did tell you to include a lot of information in the assignment, you might be like, well, I'm going to have to put some topics together in the same paragraph. Yes, that is true. That is very true. But just try to keep similar ideas as close to each other in a paragraph as possible. Okay, so we've got opening 3 to 5 body paragraphs and then closing. And the only other thing I want to say, if you decide to do this practice writing here, some students aren't sure how to organize their paragraphs. So I'll just help you out right here. This is when I give you the suggested answer next week, this is what they do. They write the opening paragraph, then in the first body paragraph, I'm going to call it body 1. What do they write about? They write about how the two products are similar. Then they talk about the first product. I'm just going to call it product A. Then in body paragraph 2, they talk about product. Then I can't remember if there's 2 or 3 more paragraphs, but I think that's when they talk about, oops, not body 1. I think this is what they do. Let me look really quick over here because they tell you kind of how many paragraphs they want you to have. Yeah, warranty terms, ordering procedure. So we'll do it that way. All right. It's something like this. So then, and then you would have your closing. Now, students, I don't have the sample answer in front of me, so I'm not sure if body 3 and body 4 is right or wrong. There's really no right or wrong. Just remember, keep similar or related ideas together. However, most students, this is where they have a hard time. They don't know how to talk about the two products because the products are somewhat similar, but they're a little bit different. So I do know this, that for the first body paragraph, they talk about how the two products are similar, and then it moves into talking about just product A and the things that are different about product A. And then the next body paragraph is about product B and how product B is different from A. That is one suggestion. If you can think of other ways to talk about it, that's fine. Try it, do it, and then you can, give me your work and I can give you feedback and tell you if it's okay or not, or give you other suggestions. All right, now, one last thing before we go. Again, I made a video about this, but just since we're here, if you do need to go and you need to hang up right now, that's fine. I totally understand. It says, read the topic sentence below and then add relevant details to complete the paragraph. So this is what they gave you. Concerning your request for a demonstration session, I have arranged for one of our sales representatives, Peter Chan, to visit your company. And that's all they gave you. And I just kind of feel like they didn't give you enough information, like you're not quite sure what else you're supposed to include. So here's the answer here. This is the suggested answer that they recommended. So during his visit, Peter will discuss with you your precise requirements and advise you about cost. In addition, he would be pleased to provide you with information about our other products. We will call you this week to confirm the visit arrangements. All right. If you want to take notes on this, that's fine. I'll tell you right now, there might be some things you can use in here. There might be some good phrases, some good words that you can use in the assignment, but there might not. So you'll have to look at the assignment and then decide, is there anything I can use? And then maybe you can use it, maybe not. So again, I'll leave it up here on the screen so you can take pictures. And remember, this is just for the practice for document 4. This suggestion. This is how they did it. This is somewhat how the sample answer will look like when I give it to you. Okay, so there's that. If you want to take notes, you can. Okay. All right, students, sorry for going over time. Again, there's all these things in videos. And if you do have more questions, I can stick around for a few minutes. I have another class I'm supposed to be having in a little bit. But I can stick around for a few minutes, or you can always email me. Also, I think Microsoft Teams is able. Sorry, that was my computer. I think Microsoft Teams is able to have like one-on-one meetings. So if it's easier for you to talk to me than email me, you can email me and ask me. Be like, hey, can we meet on Microsoft Teams and have a conversation? We can do that, but you'll just need to email me and request a time. So everybody, you are free to go. I hope that helped. And definitely, if you have questions, please let me know.
Yes, thank you, Miss. I think maybe no people have any question.
Okay. Cool, great. Well, thank you guys. Thanks for letting me know. All right, y'all are free to go.
Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye. All right. Okay. Anybody else? Question? Yes. You're welcome. Thank you. Anybody else? Questions?